Okay, guys. I know, y'all. I just woke up today, so I'm just readjusting my hair. I want to get this done really quick because I have a bunch of reactions to do. I actually am looking for a hair tie right now. This is very unplanned. So we're just gonna put it like this and imagine me having a hair tie. Alright, so I watched season two, finished it in a day. Your girl got time, okay? I'm trying to have as much time as I can before these summer classes start. Overall, season two was not as good as season one. I feel like when you have a story and you try to expand it past what was originally written, I feel like it can either be really good or just kind of like a mess everywhere. That's what this season felt like for me. Honestly, there were some parts that I kind of hated and some parts I kind of liked. So we start off the season, I thought it was like the really good episode. Like the first episode was great, like you saw my initial review for the first episode. But then as we go and progress in the season, we find out a lot of stuff that we didn't know before. One of the things we find out is that Hannah wasn't the perfect person. You know, she made some bad choices, and we get a lot of victim blaming throughout this season, and it sucks, but that's real life, and it puts the standard. Because we do it all the time. A guy can have a bunch of girlfriends and a couple of side pieces, he'd be a player. But if a girl goes on a date with a guy, she kisses another guy 2 days later, and she hangs with another guy, then she gets the title of a slut. And that's what we live in today. And they did a good way of portraying that with Hannah. And there's a lot of stuff we didn't know about Hannah. For one, she was a bully at her old school. Then we find out both sides of the story, what happened with her relationships with Jessica and Alex, and we find out her and Zach had a relationship. I didn't know this. I wasn't expecting that. Let me just turn the light for this lighting. Wow, that was bright as fuck. I did not want to have that there. But yeah, we found out Hannah wasn't the perfect person. And, that honestly, that's, life. A person can be innocent and, vulnerable, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff you don't know about them. They have imperfections, and that's what we all are. Second of all, Clay annoyed the F out of me this season. Like, he's so hypocritical and just so needy. Like, I feel like he puts Hannah on a pedestal, but as the progress, he kind of shames her. And there's one thing in particular, the one episode when they find the pictures in the clubhouse, he's like asking why the girls put themselves in this. And I had the same face as Sherry. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he's just like, well, they look like they're having fun. I'm like, Clay, you're just sounding like Bryce and the other guys. Gosh. And let me get to Bryce later. Oh my god. I'm so glad Sherry spoke up and Justin sided with her. None of these girls asked to be there, okay? The guys, and I hate to blame it on the gender, but toxic masculinity is shown a lot through this season, okay? We see it in Bryce, we see it in Marcus, see it in Montgomery, we see it in half the guys we see here. But there is some, like, progression and development. We see Alex go through a lot. He can't remember what he heard on the tapes, and he goes through a hard recovery process after attempting suicide. And, to see him go through all that pain, it just really, shows, like, character depth and development that we only see a few times on TV show. The same with Justin. He went from, you know, basically being the guy that follows to someone who realizes mistakes and trying to build himself back up into normal. And, you know, I love Justin's development so much. Like, honestly, it's just great. The same goes with Zach, He realizes that he's made mistakes and he's trying to learn back from them. Even though he tried to get in the crowd, he learns, like, hey, this isn't right. I need to be a better person, which is awesome, by the way. Marcus, we found out he's more of a douchebag than we thought, okay? Mr. Political, him, Junior, Ben Carson, they kept calling him that. Like, gosh, seriously, he's just a perv. Like, honestly, it's just crazy to think how people are so wrapped around, like, their image that the lengths they go just to hide the stuff they commit. It's crazy. Courtney, she, realizes that, hey, I'm a lesbian, it's okay. She has two gay dads that's raising her, and it's okay to be yourself. And, I like that character development too. Same with Sherry. She realized some mistakes. She's learning back from them. Jessica, Jessica has had great character development. Like honestly, being in that state where you're kind of put in a corner and you basically have to figure yourself out, even with the outcome of like the trial. She feels like she has closure now and she can be back to normal. She realizes mistakes that she did with Hannah and the mistakes that she did in her relationships. And she's trying to be a better person for herself. And she's putting herself first. And she's not going to be silent anymore. Now, let's get to Bryce. Because let me tell you, this whole damn season, he's bit. I swear. So when the tapes dropped, like when Clay uploaded the tapes, I thought shit was gonna go down. Okay, I thought shit was gonna go down. Bryce was gonna go down for it. Y'all, it felt like I was watching the trial. I'm not gonna say his name, but if you guys remember back in 2016, I remember that summer. Basically, this college swimmer, he was caught for sexual assault of a freshman behind a trash can. There's this big trial. He only got 6 months in jail. He got out after 3. If y'all remember that case, this is what that case felt like. Bryce not only sexually assaulted Jessica and Hannah, but also his girlfriend Chloe, who stayed with him the whole entire time this was going on. And then the school, was found not guilty over Hannah, but he was found guilty because Jessica came and confessed. And so did Justin. Bryce gets 3 months probation. Meanwhile, Justin is at risk of going to juvie. I'm like, the hell? Like, honestly, and his parents, they're more like his PR team than his actual parents. Like, honestly, you can tell that they are workaholics and did not take time raising him. And I want a great job, but honestly, I don't want a job where, like, I'm not raising my kids. Like, I don't want there to be like, oh, I barely know this person. Like, you can tell with his dad, he's just his PR person. And I don't even feel bad for Chloe, okay? You knocked up, y'all had sex basically every episode you guys were in. And honestly, we all know how it's going to go down in season 3, because there will be a season 3. She's going to tell Bryce, he's going to ask her to get an abortion, then his parents are going to try to pay him off with their money, not his money, because he ain't got no job, he ain't got no inheritance or whatever. And, oh, God, I'm pissed off. I don't feel bad for Chloe. Ugh, man. You guys, when I heard that they said that she was pregnant, I was like, wow, not surprised. We already know what Bryce is going to do. And honestly, season 3, we may just see her, like, go away for somewhere, because her parents are going to be devastated, and they're going to probably have her have the baby and put up for adoption, all of that. The rest of the parents in the show, it shows that, parents need to pay attention. Parents really need to pay attention because they often label kids as, going through a phase during, like, this stage of their lives. But it really isn't. Life is hard on them. Not just mostly, but physically, too. My gosh, like, Zach's mom just pissed me off. Like, gain your connections. And then the only good parents in the show were Clay's parents and Jessica's dad. Like, they really, like, helped. They really acknowledged, like, hey, I want to listen to my kid. Like, they want to. And I was really glad about that. Now, let's get to Tyler. Dear Lord Jesus. Tyler, my God. He went through so much. And I think what they did with this season, even though Hannah was still involved, I think they focused on how far bullying can push somebody. Because we saw Tyler in the beginning. He spoke first in the trial. We saw how he was being harassed in school. Then we saw him start the path of getting into, like, weapons. And then we see him basically have a paint bomb. And then we saw the progression. Then he goes to a reform program. He comes back fully recovered. He has friends now. He has a girlfriend now. But then, right when he's in recovery, freaking Monty has to go and F that up. And let me tell you guys something. When I saw that happening, when they threw him in the locker room, I was in the bathroom, I was like, yeah, let me skip over this part. I know it's going to be bad. I didn't find out until, like, yesterday when someone was tweeting about him, or someone was tweeting about watching it. Like, I didn't find out that not only was his head dug in the toilet, they beat him up, but there was action with a broom. And I was like, thank God I skipped that part because I wouldn't be able to take it. Like, God. And Mozzie, he's been screwing everybody all season. Like, he's been screwing everybody by being Bryce's lackey. And honestly, he makes the excuse, oh no, they're all I have. No, you do not become dependent on other people. Like, this is how it turns into bad stuff, especially bad people. Like, God. And then that pushes him to the point where he is about to commit a actual. I'm trying to get this out because I know it's gonna be filtered and not allowed on YouTube. But if you watched it, he's gonna basically go to school with his weapons and cause what we saw in Texas. And my God, that scene was brutal. Oh jeez, it still really just got to me. And with Clay, he basically talks him down into just stopping. And I thought, dear God, no, not Clay, not Clay, dear Jesus, do not let Clay end like this. But he talked him down, and that whole ending was like, holy crap. Like, honestly, it really just like, I mean, at first I was like, okay, y'all really went too far. You're trying to be with the trends with this happening and then Bryce getting off scot-free. But, you gotta understand, like, they throw in real world stuff, but I feel like this stuff was too much to put in. And, we see the progression of Tyler's story for the season, but I felt like the way to end the season like that with that episode, I felt like that was too much. With Tyler's story and with how Bryce turned out with his trial, I felt so mad about the fact that he did it. Like, none of the people who did the bad stuff got consequences. And that, like, what's the point? Like, the writers had a chance to change the story, but they kind of just throw everything in there just to marginalize on the subjects that are happening now. And I feel like with the reviews and what people say about the show, especially from the first season, I'm starting to believe it. And I'm just kind of half disappointed, half expected of it. I kind of had high expectations for season 2, so yeah, I don't know. So let me know if you guys thought of it. I know this is really sporadic and my screen is really blurry. I'm filming this on my phone because y'all know my laptop's messed up. Anyway, let me know what other movies or YouTube shows you want me to review. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later with reactions. This is the girl. Peace out. Love. Have a great week.